Let me tell you another story about how living divinely guided and miracle minded always pays off and how worry never does. So, back in 2023, it became abundantly clear I was going to have to break down and get a new computer. Now, I was living with my dad at the time, taking care of him in my childhood home, so I didn't have the luxury of going out and shopping for a computer. So, I had decided to order it online. And like I do everything, I'm asking Spirit, which one, right? So I choose one, and it comes in, and I'm about 2 weeks into it, and I have a issue and doesn't seem to have an answer. And finally, my computer gurus decided that it was defective, and I was going to have to send it back. And I was a little miffed because I was guided in that decision. But I'm also pretty clear on that there's good in everything, so I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to pack it up and send it back. And I expected that process to go with ease, joy, and glory, and it did. I got a shipping label. I was within my 30-day window, and I got it all boxed up, which was no small feat because I had a monitor, and I've got to make sure it's boxed up and doesn't get damaged, right? Because that damage would be on me. And I called FedEx to come out and pick it up, and a nice man came out and picked it up, and he was driving away when I realized that he didn't scan the barcode. They always scan the barcode. And so my mind automatically starts thinking about what I don't want. And you have to understand, I'm constantly telling my dad this: stop thinking about what you don't want, Daddy. Think about what you want. And here I am going down a rabbit hole with this. And my mind is going, if this gets lost, there's not going to be any way to track it. And I can't prove that I ever sent it. And so I'll probably just end up eating it. This is where my thinking mind is taking me. And so I start trying to track it right away, that evening. And sure enough, it's not in the system. The next day, it's not in the system. 6 days later, it's not in the system. And I did get a hold of somebody from the shipper, very, very nice person who's, really keeping an eye out for it. And so I'm in the second week waiting for this. And then I woke up and I'm going, Gail, look what you just done. You know how it works. You're focused on what you don't want, and you just got it. And I started laughing. I was so relieved. And I went and told my dad, Daddy, you're not going to believe what I've done. Laughing, because he would get it. He'd lived with me long enough to get it. And you may be asking, well, why were you so relieved? Because I also knew from experience that once I understood the error that I had made, that I could actually have it undone. And so that's what I did. I use one command all the time. I don't know how this computer shows up with ease, joy, and glory. I only know it does now, and I'm grateful and fulfilled. The next morning, I call the computer store, and the guy says, you know what? The one thing I haven't done is gone back to the warehouse and see if it came in. It just hasn't been in the system. And he put me on hold. And he came back and he said, guess what? It's here. That's how fast it works. And so I'm so relieved. And I go and I order me another computer. And that night I'm contemplating all that had just happened. And I'm asking Spirit, what was that for? And Spirit said, so you would have a really good story to make a really good point. How living divinely guided and miracle minded always pays off, and worry never does.